the war between Ukraine and Russia, one of the topics discussed last night during the debate. The economy, another major issue that was sparred about during the presidential debate at the National Constitution Center here in Philadelphia.
It's an exciting night for voters and journalists to watch this pivotal matchup. Among that group are some of the area's youngest journalists. Joining us live this morning to talk about it more are journalists for the Drexel and Westchester University student-run newspapers, Olivia, Carlo, and Casey. Thanks, guys, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
So let's begin with Olivia. You're a student at Westchester. So what were your thoughts overall about the debate?
It was really incredible, to see all of the behind the scenes, all of the TV sets, there's so much back there that you don't realize what's going on. For me, the coolest part was the spin room, getting to be up close with politicians and getting to ask them my own questions. It was really, I couldn't have asked for a more crazy experience.
Oh, that's got to, how often do you get to see that up close, right? Casey, to you now, anything stand out from either of the candidates' performance that kind of swayed your decision?
Something that really stood out between the two candidates was the way that they faced the questions. I know that Kamala Harris did a pretty good job with answering the questions. However, she could have gone more into depth with a few of them. As for former President Trump, I feel like in his case, he avoided answering some of the questions and more so focused on rebuttals.
So Carlo, I have to ask you, you're at Westchester. This can be intimidating going to a spin room. You've got not only the politicians and the VIPs, but also journalists across the world. Anything you learned from this experience?
Yeah, intimidating, I think, is definitely the right word because, for me going in there, my heart's pounding. I'm nervous. I don't really know what the deal is, but you get used to it pretty quickly because you're forced to adjust. You have to go up there. You say your question, maybe you yell your question more accurately. People are kind of hoarding each candidate. The more higher profile politicians such as Governor Newsom and Governor Shapiro, you got to be quick to them if you want to ask them a question.
Well, I think what's important is the fact that you all were invited because the candidates clearly recognize the importance of the young vote, which is why they want you active and engaged. Let's talk, Olivia, this whole thing, a lot of people went in undecided. I should say a number of people went in undecided. Do you think it might have swayed their decision based on what they saw last night?
I certainly think it could. I feel like especially after the previous two presidents, people are at a bit of a loss when it comes to presidential politics and they're looking for some sort of guidance. And, ABC, I believe, was streaming some information before the debate on, the very first presidential debate between Kennedy and Nixon and how much of an impact it had just purely based off of how the candidates presented themselves, And in more recent years, due to intense polarization, that's become less so of a trend that we see in the American public, but I do still think it has the capability to affect people's opinions.
Well, Olivia, Carlo, and Casey, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Boy, this is going to be a story that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. Absolutely.
What a great experience. Guys, thank you so much for that. Appreciate your time.
Start writing. You got a deadline, I'm sure, for the newspaper, kids.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you for that.